What's up, Chucker fans? Today, we're going to give you your first ever post-game, post-match, in this circumstance, analysis of what happened today on August 18, 2026 for your Chuckers in match form, an actual competitive game. And today, it is your Chucker women's soccer program that turns out victorious for today, beating the Shoreline Dolphins a whopping 10-0 in Tukwila, Washington. What a performance for your Chuckers on the women's soccer side. We are officially 1-0, and we have a perfect winning percentage as of 2026. Great start to the year, especially looking at these statistics. We scored 4 goals in the first half and 6 goals in the second. And scoring 3 goals every game is a pretty successful mark, especially for soccer. If you're scoring 3 to 4 goals every game, that is an impressive team, I would say, just based on my perspective of understanding the sport of soccer, let alone scoring 10 in one game. Really excited for what's to come, and especially based on these statistics, looking at the box score here on the NWAC official sports page here. And yeah, let's get right into this mamma jamma of statistics and what happened today for your Chucker soccer women's team to give you that 10-0 win against the Shoreline Dolphins up in Tukwila, which is pretty much in Seattle, Washington, around Seattle, Washington. Let's get right into it. So, first, I want to start with our goalie today. What did she do? She allowed no goals whatsoever. Great job right there. If you have a goalie that allows no goals, makes it way easier to win, because all you got to do is score 1 goal and you win. Exactly. So that is the actuality there. Great job for our goalkeeper, Kenna Monk, today. Number 2, Ava Flores. She had 0 shots on goal, 0 goals, 0 assists, and 0 minutes. Looks like she didn't play to a factor of a offensive standpoint based on goals and all that. I'm pretty sure she was impactful based on 10-0 win, but statistics, she didn't provide for the scoring category, but I'm pretty sure she did some stuff based on the win. Haley Bachman, 0 shots on goal, 0 goals, 0 assists. Italia Castro Guerrero, 0 shots on goal, 0 goals, 0 assists. Yaslin Gonzalez, 0 shots on goal, 0 goals, and 0 assists. Abby Nunez, 0 shots on goal, 0 goals, and 0 assists. Leoness Williams, 0 shots on goal, 0 goals, and 0 assists. And this is where the point where we get some scoring numbers offensively. Ashanti Tapia, a forward, she had 4 shots on goal and 2 goals on the day. Very impressive there, I would like to say, especially because I believe she is a freshman. Yes, she is a freshman. So that is quite impressive to make a mark at the collegiate level, especially right away in your first ever competitive game. Especially with it being, obviously, it's different than high school sports. It's college. No matter how high the level is, it's still collegiate sports, and it's a very impressive mark to be here and provide this much success for your team at a very early standpoint in the season. Alexis Murky, she had 3 shots on goal, 1 goal, and 0 assists. Very impressive there. Another 2-goaler today, Kenley Fewitt, also a freshman. She had 8 shots on goal, so she was providing a lot of offense for your Chuckers today, and 2 of those shots on goal fell in. 2 goals, 0 assists. Very impressive there. McKenna Hibden, 0 shots on goal, 0 goals, 0 assists. Aries Day, 8 shots on goals, so again, providing a lot of offensive threats there. And 1 goal actually fell in, so she got a goal for herself today. She had 1 assist on the day as well. Zoe Moore, she had 6 shots on goal, and 2 of them also fell in. So far you have 3 chuckers with 2 goals today, which is crazy impressive, especially for the sport of soccer. Madison Hibden, she had 2 shots on goal, 1 goal, 0 assists. Also providing some offense. Ruby Aroca Gutierrez, 1 shot and 1 shot on goal. None of them fell in, but again, adding to that offensive firepower that we had today against Shoreline Community College. And to wrap up your Chucker women's soccer team today based on statistics, Abby DeGroot had 1 shot on goal, and the 1 shot on goal fell in for a goal. So to wrap up the statistics today, we had obviously a number of 10 goals, and we had 3 chuckers with 2 goals today, which is, again, crazy impressive. Your goalie numbers today, Kenna Monk, again, pretty much dominated. Looking at the statistics, there was no saves or no goal attempts. So that's a very, very impressive mark for our defensive attack based on what I'm seeing here. So great defense. We didn't allow them to provide any sort of threat today, which is very impressive to see. Here's the official scoring summary for the game today. Kenley Fewitt, unassisted goal, gave us a 1-0 lead. Kenley Fewitt again for back-to-back goals unassisted, 2-0 lead. Zoe Moore, unassisted goal, 3-0. Madison Hibden, unassisted goal, 4-0. Alexis Murky, and technically Aries Day, so they must have kicked the ball at the same time or something. 5-0. Aries Day, unassisted, 6-0. Ashanti Tapia, unassisted, 7-0. Abby DeGroot, unassisted, 8-0. Ashanti Tapia, once again, 9-0. And to give you that final 10th goal of the day for your Chuckers, Zoe Moore, an unassisted goal. So, based on that scoring summary, there was a lot of unassisted goals. Actually, I take that back on the Alexis Murky. So Aries Day assisted the ball to Alexis Murky for the goal. So on the day, there was only 1 goal that occurred based on an assist, which is actually a very interesting category. So that shows that we had a lot of offensive push, but there was not a lot of successful, let's say, schematic reasoning. Maybe that's because Shoreline's defense had a bit of an issue today, and really you can have a hockey analogy. You could have an odd man rush every time if the defense is struggling like that, where they can't come back to get the ball. That's probably the case here. But very shallow assist, very shallow, very light, not so much assisting categories today, or assisting statistics today, but that's probably the case. Shoreline had a bit of a challenge defensively. Penalty summaries. Just to give you that clarification, the only penalty was a yellow card on Milka Embe on Shoreline at 67 minutes in the game in the second period. Shots. Shoreline had a number of 1 shot in the first half and 0 shots in the second half. So, again, like I said, very impressive defense on the day. Treasure Valley, we had 42 shots compared to Shoreline's 1 in the first period. And in our second period, we had 41 shots compared to Shoreline's 0. So, we beat the shots category 83-1 when it comes to the game today. That is absolutely insane, if I may say so. Corner kicks, just to give you that clarification as well. Shoreline had 0 corner kicks in today's matchup. Treasure Valley, we had 3. Saves, Shoreline, actually, this is a very interesting statistic here. Shoreline had 18 total saves in the game, and we had 0. So, again, Not a lot of offensive firepower from Shoreline. Game information, the game started at 11 a.m. today, August 18th, 2026, in Tukwila, Washington, which is right by Seattle, Washington. Game length was 1 hour and 30 minutes. There you have that. So that is your game today. Chuckers win 10-0 in a very, very impressive first matchup of the 2026 season. We are 1-0, and we actually, just for the fun of it, we are currently in second place in the East region, just because we've actually played a game. There's actually, fun fact, there is actually only 8 to 10 teams that have actually played a game today, their first game. A lot of the others are still at the 0-0 mark. But yeah, we're sitting second currently to Columbia Basin in the East region today. Obviously, it doesn't matter until we get to East region play, really. But overall record certainly helps based on a ranking standpoint and just giving you the overall look of how the team is going to be going into the East region in 2026. So that'll about do it. These post-game shows are really going to be only in the 10 to 15 minute range. It's going to be kind of a quick concept of a show just to give you statistics, how the game looked, and how we succeeded or how we didn't do our best. But today, based on today, we had a really good day for Chucker women's soccer. Your Chuckers beating the Shoreline Dolphins 10-0 up in the Seattle area. We are 1-0. Let's go. Go Chucks.